Hey guys, happy Monday to everybody. So today I was going to do my Mardi Gras inspired tutorial, but I'm still sick. I don't know what I have, but I'm still sick and I just didn't feel like doing something really bright and colorful. So it's 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Stella actually just went down for her nap. So I was finally able to take a shower and just put on a little bit of makeup so that I at least looked somewhat normal and somewhat healthy despite feeling like a flaming turd. But I wanted to do a video today and I thought that I would do the TMI tag. I was tagged by Stephanie from Flourishxo. I will link her version of this tag down below for you guys. And I rarely get tagged for stuff like this, so, and I thought this one was kind of fun. I've been watching a lot of people do it, and I find some of the answers kind of interesting. So I'm going to go ahead and do it. I will link the questions down below, and then if you happen to have not done it yet, I definitely encourage you to do it. So let's see here. Where did the questions go? Okay. What are you wearing? My typical everyday mom wear, which is a tank top, and today I decided to style it with a lovely pink, what do you call these things, sports bras. So it's just a brown tank top from Kirkland, Costco, and then this is like a Champion sports bra, again from Costco, and then I have these Guess like loose palazzo type fold over yoga pants. I don't know. I don't make any sense today, but it's cool because I'm not going anywhere. Have you ever been in love? Yes. I am madly in love with my husband, Craig. I've been in love once before as well with somebody else, but that obviously didn't work out, but that was clearly for the best. And I love Craig now so much more than I ever loved the last person that I loved, and so I think that Craig is my true love. I feel so passionately about him, and I just adore him, even though sometimes he's the biggest pain in the ass in the world. So there you have it. But who's perfect? Nobody. Like, everybody's going to annoy you at some point, but there is just like, you know, I adore him and I trust him completely, and I think that that's the number one thing, is that I basically trust him with my life and my heart. So, and obviously I'm madly in love with my daughter Stella. She's incredible. So yes, love, it exists in my life and I'm so thankful. Have you ever had a terrible breakup? Yes. It was back when I was in college. I was actually engaged to this individual, and he broke up with me over an email, and I think we were together maybe, I think it was 3 years at the time, and so, and then he never really talked to me again. He did end up calling me, like, I think it was like 6 or 7 years later, and apologized. But gave me no closure whatsoever with the situation, and that was really hard for me. I knew that the breakup was probably for the best. Like, I knew that in my heart, like, that we weren't really meant to be together, but just the way that this person went about it was difficult for me because I didn't feel like I got any closure. I couldn't, like, say anything to him because he just, like, ended all communication, and it was hard because we were still at the same university together. He was a year ahead of me, and so I still had to see him his entire senior year when I was a junior in college, and that was very hard because it was a small campus. So I saw this individual almost every single day, and that was difficult for me. But, you know, I started to move on. I just kind of forced myself to, and started just going out with more people and just having fun, and I was like, this is great, you know. It was a shitty situation, but in the long run, it was the best thing that has ever happened to me, and I'm thankful for the experience. Breakups suck. Like, there's no way they're not ever going to not suck. So, I just feel like it's always nice to have some kind of closure, just to have, like, a conversation, and I eventually did get that several years later, but, you know, by that point, it didn't quite mean as much. So, anyway, yes, I've had a terrible breakup. How tall are you? I am 5'7". I have been so surprised by how many people who have said that they're like 5'2", 5'3". I always think everybody's so much taller, but I'm 5'7". Craig is about 6'7", so he's a foot taller than me. So I have a feeling our little princess is going to be a tall girl. I never thought I was that tall, but I guess 5'7" is kind of tall compared to some of the other people that I watch. How much do you weigh? I liked Dawn, D. Lopez 83, I think her channel name is. She actually answered this question, and I was like, thank you. Like, I'm not embarrassed about how much I weigh. I mean, you guys see me on camera every single day almost. You know, I've had a child. I definitely don't weigh what I used to weigh back in college. I am now at about 170 pounds. That's not my ideal weight. I would like to be around 155 or 160. So I have a little bit of weight to lose, but I don't feel obese. I don't feel super unhealthy. I think I'm just, you know, I have some weight to lose in certain areas, but I'm not embarrassed about my weight. So I'm 170 pounds. There you go. Any tattoos? I do have 2 tattoos. I have a Celtic knot on my upper back, and that was something that I got, I think it was right after college. And I just really liked the design. I thought it was beautiful, and the tattoo artist that I worked with kind of like customized it for me. So, you know, I really like that one. I think I would have probably put it in a different location at this point where I could hide it a little bit more, because you can see it like with most of like the shirts that I wear that aren't like a crew neck shirt or something. So with most of my dresses and stuff, you can see it, and it doesn't bother me, but you know, just now that I'm a little bit older, I guess that I would prefer to have tattoos in places where I can hide them. I also have another tattoo that I got when I was 19, and that is the German flag. It's on my lower right, yeah, my lower right flank on my back. So, because I'm originally from Germany, so yeah, that was the very first tattoo that I got. Any piercings? Just my ears. I've never been into piercings. I generally don't like pain a whole lot, which is funny because I have 2 tattoos and they definitely hurt like hell. But just the piercing thing I just never got into. I couldn't justify that. OTP, I guess this is one true pairing. And I was trying to think of what my answer would be for this, and I think it would probably be Melanie plus Nutella, because we were meant to be. I love Nutella, you guys. I grew up eating that when I was in Germany, and when they finally started like selling it in the US, I was like, hallelujah, thank God. I love this stuff. I eat it by the spoonful. I don't put it necessarily on anything else. I just eat it, which is probably why I weigh 170 pounds. I'm trying not to do that anymore though, so. My favorite show, Craig and I really like to watch Grimm together. It is filmed where we live, and I like seeing my town on TV. Plus I just like the show. I grew up reading the Grimm stories with my Oma, and so it's just kind of like a nostalgia thing for me, and I think it's kind of a fun show, and it just surprises me that both Craig and I are so into it. And then we also really like to watch Real Time with Bill Maher, and yes, I'm a flaming like Democrat. Actually, I should probably say flaming socialist, but you know, I think he's funny, I think he's witty, and I agree with most of what he says. So yeah, Real Time with Bill Maher would be another show that Craig and I really kind of share together. Favorite song? Oh, sorry, I'm skipping around. Favorite bands. So my all-time favorite band, you guys have heard me talk about them plenty of times in my videos, is Pearl Jam. I have loved Pearl Jam since like 1992. I can remember being in middle school and watching the video for Even Flow on MTV before getting on the school bus. Like, I just like connected with them from like the very beginning. So, and I love Eddie Vedder. I think he's incredibly sexy. Was back in the day and still is. So, and another favorite band of mine is Korn. That surprises a lot of people, but I love Korn. I especially in like the late 90s, early 2000s. Like I went to every single concert that they had, like whenever they came to like our area, and I had a great time. And a lot of their music I just kind of identified with, which is like, I don't have like a life where I struggle a lot, and neither like did I have a life where I struggled a lot like back in the day. But for some reason, I really like the music. I like the energy. I like the band. Everybody always used to laugh at me, like, really? Something you miss. I miss my Oma really badly. She passed away a while ago now. And when we moved away from Germany, that was like the one thing that I just missed her. My mom was really young when she had me, and so my Oma was really involved in helping to raise me for the first few years. I spent a lot of time at her home, and she was just everything that I ever wanted to be as a grown-up. She was just kind and caring and loving, and she snuggled me and she hugged me and she kissed me, and she made me delicious cakes, and she fed me everything that I ever could have wanted, and she was just an amazing person. So I miss my Oma. And I also really miss my parents. My parents live about 2 hours away from me, and that makes me very sad because I don't get to see them as often as I would like. And so I'm constantly missing my parents. I'm jealous of people who have, like Craig, whose parents live like 5 minutes away from our house. I wish that I had that. My favorite song, I think that one of my favorite songs is, well, there's a couple. Release from Pearl Jam has always been a favorite. From the first time that I heard it, I've just always loved that song. And there's also a song called I Got Id by Pearl Jam, and I really like that song as well. As far as like modern songs, I kind of like, I don't know, I tend to listen to everything, and so I don't really necessarily have a favorite from like nowadays, because I listen to country, I listen to rap, I listen to pop, like pretty much everything with the exception of like classical music. So but yeah, I would say that my favorite songs are probably mostly by Pearl Jam. How old are you? I'm 35. Zodiac sign, Scorpio. And I would say that most of those traits definitely are pretty accurate. Quality you look for in a partner. Trust is probably the biggest thing for me. Mutual respect, love, kindness. Those are probably the most important qualities. I know I just said quality, but the person that I am going to be with has to have all of those things, and Craig definitely does. Favorite quote, be the change you wish to see in the world. And I believe that is by Gandhi, and that is the one thing that I just really truly believe in. You know, in order to change the things around you, like, you have to be willing to kind of practice what you preach and put good out there in order to get good back. You know, and for me, like, trying to be a positive influence and a positive person for other people and doing good things is very important, and that's something that I really want to instill in Stella as well. So that would be my quote. My favorite actor, I don't necessarily have a favorite actor. Yeah, I don't watch movies. I guess I really like Steve Carell. I think he's funny. Funny, I think, it's a quality I look for in my friends, and so Steve Carell always cracks me up, so I guess him. I watch comedies more than like anything else, I guess. Favorite color, I like the color pink, but I also really like mint green. Loud music or soft? Same answer as everybody else. It kind of depends on what I'm doing. When I'm working out, I like music to be loud so that it kind of gets my energy level up. But normally, like when I'm in the car, you know, it's just kind of at a lower level, just so I can have music in the background. Where do you go when you're sad? I kind of keep to myself, I guess. Bed. I'll just go and lay in bed and cry or pout or, you know, try to go to sleep. How long does it take you to shower? I think it probably on average takes me about between 10 and 15 minutes, depending on whether I'm shaving my legs or whatever else. I try to make my showers as quick as possible, especially during the week, because my time to myself is limited. I do all of like my videos and stuff while Stella is napping. So I have to kind of be efficient in the shower so I can get done, get ready, and then start my filming and stuff. So I would say between 10 and 15 minutes. How long does it take you to get ready in the morning? Depending on what I'm doing, somewhere between like 20 and 30 minutes. I obviously don't spend any time on my hair, as I didn't today. That's the one thing that always kind of gets pushed to the side. But I do spend time on my makeup, so I would say 20 to 30 minutes on my makeup, because I like to play around. Makeup, in a lot of ways, is part of my livelihood. I do freelance makeup, and so I feel it's important for me to like practice every day. You know, it's part of my job, so I have to be good at it, and doing it on myself definitely helps me perfect my technique on other people as well, so I take my time with it. Have you ever been in a physical fight? No. Turn on. Someone who's funny. I think that's important. Craig makes me laugh all the time, and I like that. Turn off. People who are stinky. I don't like stinkiness. I am big about smells, and I don't like stinkiness. The reason you joined YouTube, I just felt like I have a lot of like things to share about beauty stuff. Like, I use a lot of different things, and I liked doing reviews, and that was an easy way for me to get started. So yeah, I like the connection that I was able to make with other people. Fears. Anything ever happening to Stella is my biggest fear. I can't stand the thought of like anyone ever hurting her, or, you know, whether it's hurting her physically or hurting her feelings even. I know what that feels like, and I know it's a part of like growing up, and you have to learn to deal with that stuff, but it just sucks, and you don't ever want your children to like experience any kind of like negativity, even though, again, it's a part of growing up, and it's just gonna have to go through it. It just makes me sad, and I just want to protect her from everything. So yeah, anything ever happening to Stella, physically, mentally, emotionally, but then also just spiders and snakes. I hate spiders and snakes. Ooh. Last thing that made you cry. I can't even remember, but I do cry sometimes. You know, movies make me cry if they're sad. You know, stuff like that. But I haven't really had like any major reason to like be super upset about anything in my personal life. Oh yes, I did. But that's not something that I want to talk about. I just had to kind of make a somewhat important decision about what I want to do in the long run professionally, and it means having to give up a part of what I'm doing to be able to focus on the things that I'm really good at. And that was kind of a hard thing to come to terms with for me, because I've just worked so hard. But really, truly, like, I'm better at some things than I am at other things. And so just coming to terms with that was kind of hard. But anyway, whatever. Last time you said I love you to someone, Stella and Craig, I say I love you constantly to both of them. Meaning behind your YouTube name, Mr. Kong is my little black pug. You guys have seen him lots of times. He's another love of my life, and I just adore him. So I'm his mom. I consider him my baby. I am one of those people. My pets are part of my family. Last book you read, Corduroy. I don't really read a lot of books. So I read Stella's books to her. Corduroy was the last book that we read together. I used to read a lot in the past. I would say most recently, a couple of summers ago, before I had Stella, I read 50 Shades of Grey. And I never got to the other subsequent books in the series, but I hear there's a movie coming out, so I guess that was like the real last book that I read, which is sad. It wasn't even anything like super amazing or important, but it was entertaining. The book you're currently reading, anything that Stella wants to read. Last show you watched, the Mickey Mouse Clubhouse. Stella likes that. She seems to learn from it, so I let her watch that. But like in terms of like TV shows, last night Craig and I watched the Teen Mom specials, so Being Farrah, Being Caitlin, and Being Amber. I love Teen Mom. I've watched that series for the longest time. You know, no matter what you think about it, I think that teen pregnancy is... My mom was a teen mom, and so it was always my biggest goal in life to not get pregnant as a teenager, because I know that that had an effect on her life, and I didn't want that to affect my life in any kind of way, which is why I think I waited until I was like 33 to have a kid. But, you know, it's just watching kids like that struggle. It just kind of reminds me that I did the right thing. And, you know, that's not something that I want for Stella. And just watching that just kind of reminds me to be like very open and honest with Stella. And when the time comes, you know, we'll have the sex talk and how to protect yourself and how to prevent pregnancy, because I just think that's important. Last person you talk to, Stella. Can you tell I'm like a stay-at-home mom? Probably before that, Craig this morning before he left for work. The relationship between you and the last person you texted, that was Craig. He was reminding me to send a check to our old tenants because we sold Craig's rental house, and so we needed to refund some of their like deposit. So that's what the last text was about between him and I. Favorite food? I love German food. I wish I could eat it every single day. Anything, bratwurst, spätzle, cabbage. I love all of that stuff. Place you want to visit? I want to take Stella to Germany. I want to be able to show her where I'm from. Last place you were? Oh, I can't even remember. I guess like the last time that I was like out, yesterday I had a meeting at my office, so I was at my office. Oh, and then I went to the grocery store at night. I went to Trader Joe's. So Trader Joe's was technically the last place that I was. Do you have a crush? I do have a crush on Eddie Vedder, and Craig knows it, and he teases me about it. I love him. I think he's so incredibly sexy, but like crush on like somebody like Bradley Cooper. I think he's really good looking. His beautiful eyes. Channing Tatum's hot. Yeah. I don't know. Eddie Vedder, you'll always have my heart. If you're watching this, come hold my hand. We don't have to make out because I'm married and you're married, but we can hold hands, right? Last time you kissed someone, I'm trying to avoid kissing Stella because I don't want her to get sick, even though she is kind of sick already. I kissed Craig this morning. Last time you were insulted, it doesn't really affect me like super, like a ton or whatever, but I mean, I get nasty comments on my videos. I just delete them. So I'm not super insulted. I just find it more annoying than anything else, I guess. But I can't remember the last time somebody like really insulted me personally. Favorite flavor of sweet? I love chocolate. Instruments do you play? What instruments? I used to play the violin. I don't obviously play that anymore, but I hope Stella does. Favorite piece of jewelry? Of course I don't have it. Let me go get it. I'll be right. Okay, so I'm back. My favorite piece of jewelry is definitely my wedding set. I love it. Craig is incredible. He's kind of a dude, and so this was like, it was just really amazing for him to pick out something that was, one, so generous, and two, just so beautiful and simple. And he basically said, like, you can have whatever you want. So I did get to design this. And then I love the wedding band because it's so simple, and I did have them both like soldered together here. So, but I love this. It means the world to me, and it's something that I want to pass down to Stella. You guys probably noticed in most of my videos that I don't wear this that often. It's insured, but I'm just afraid to like lose the center stone. That's my biggest fear. It's obviously very secure in there, and I have it checked by the jeweler that made it every 6 months. But I normally just wear like a tungsten band when I'm working weddings and stuff like that. So, but I love this, and I love that he gave it to me, and what it means, and that someday I can give this to my baby girl. I joke with her because she loves all things sparkly, and she's constantly like, whenever I'm wearing it, she likes to look at it and touch it, and I always tell her, you can have it when you can pry it from my cold dead hands. She has no idea what that means, but that's when she can have it. Last sport that you played. So this is kind of random, but I actually used to play hockey when I was in high school. I wasn't like super good at it, but I just really liked being on the ice, and I'm not graceful enough to be a figure skater. I started ice skating when I was, I think, a freshman in high school, and I just really liked it, and I was a decent skater, and softball didn't really work out for me. Got kicked off the team. So I just started getting obsessed with hockey, and I didn't play it anymore after I got to college, but yeah. Last song you sang, the hot dog song from the Mickey Mouse Club. I'll spare you my singing voice, but yeah, look it up on YouTube. It's called the Mickey Mouse Playhouse song. Just Google that. Something will pop up for you, but it's very catchy, and it makes you like, I mean, there's like, I have dance moves. I have all kinds of stuff. If I ever get really drunk, I'll have Craig record me singing it and dancing for you guys. I'll have to be really drunk. Favorite chat up line? I don't have one. When I used to go out, I would not talk to dudes. Like, I would wait for them to come to talk to me. And, I mean, I heard a lot of really bad pickup lines, but I've never used one, so don't have one. Have you ever used it? Nope, because I don't have one. Last time you hung out with anyone? I mean, I hung out with Craig. Other than that, I haven't had a ton of time to hang out with my friends, and I miss that. I miss my friend Kate very much. I miss my friend Julie. They're two of my best girlfriends from college, and I miss them terribly. But it's just hard when you're a grown-up, because, like, I have, like, Stella is my main responsibility, and so everything that I do kind of revolves around her right now. You know, I have my girlfriend Paige. I keep meaning to hang out with her. Yeah, I wish that I could have more time to hang out with people, but it just seems like my days are so short. Like, you know, they just revolve around making sure that Stella is fed, clothed, bathed, napped, healthy, is having a good time, that she's happy in her childhood, blah, blah, blah. I guess that's my biggest concern. And then, like, I work, too, so just doesn't leave a lot of time for that kind of stuff, and I miss that. I'm excited for Stella to get a little bit older so I can have more of that time again. Not that I, you know, don't like her in her stages now, but, you know. Who should answer these questions next? Basically anybody who hasn't answered them yet. So if you haven't, I will put the list, the questions down below, and yeah, feel free to answer, and let me know that you did this, and I'll come watch your video. So anyway, thank you guys so much for watching, and thank you to Stephanie for tagging me in this video. This was a lot of fun. I think it's nice to do videos like this because it helps you get to know the person a little bit better, and I know that I'm kind of nosy like that. So anyway, there you guys go. I hope that you enjoyed. I hope to be feeling better at some point in the future. I'm hoping that if I'm feeling better tomorrow, I can do my Mardi Gras inspired tutorial, which is like screeching it in at the last minute because tomorrow is Mardi Gras technically. So we'll see. If I don't get it in tomorrow because I'm still not feeling super well, I will just rename it something else. Colorful Jewel Eye. I don't know. But I will still use the colors together that I pulled out for that because I think it's, I like bright eye looks like that. So anyway, I hope you guys are well, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.